In this video, we're going to be talking about some free resources and inexpensive resources that you can use to study for both the SAT and the ACT. I'm Katja Severson, the inventor of the Severson Method, a scientifically proven way to learn anything fast, especially for the SAT and the ACT. This video is an updated video. I shot something a year ago where I talked about some of my favorite resources, and since then, not only I've had an overwhelming response to that video, so thank you very much, but two, I've changed my mind on a couple of things, and I am newly excited about some books that were old or new, so it's time to reshoot and edit my suggestions. So let's begin with the language and writing section for both the SAT and the ACT. Here's what I suggest. I'm going to show you what I recommended in 2018, and then I'm going to show you my new recommendations. So I'm still in love with this book by Erica Meltzer. It's called SAT Grammar. It's still a pretty good book, but I now added something else to my collection. I am now falling in love with a SAT writing book by Nelson Fu from College Panda. The books are pretty wonderful, and they teach the subject pretty differently, and if you like Nelson Fu's style, you'll probably like this book as well. And I also have this Ultimate Guide to SAT Grammar. This is something that I changed my mind on, because a year ago we did not have as many practice tests as we do now, because every year there's a few official practice tests and there's a few that are floating around the internet. So now we have enough practice tests that this book I no longer need or use, because I always prefer to practice on real materials rather than something that Erica Meltzer, no matter how much I love her, respect her, but she has her own version of the test. She has her own view of the test, and God forbid it differs from how the College Board sees it. So I prefer to practice on real tests rather than this one. So this is something I changed my mind on, and my new favorite is going to be this College Panda book, and still love this one. Still a very, very good book. Now let's move on to the ACT. And for the ACT, I think everything stays the same. I'm still using Erica Meltzer's book, and it's pretty sufficient for those purposes. Now let's move on to reading. And there I have a favorite for reading, for both SAT reading and ACT reading. I still recommend Erica Meltzer's. I have the updated book. Checked it out. Still a great read, still a great find, but I have a new favorite. Ta-da! A lot of you are asking me about the Black Book. What do I think about the Black Book? Do I recommend the Black Book? I freaking love it. It's a great book for both the SAT and the ACT. I have the ACT one in the PDF version, actually Kindle, and I have this one in the physical version, the physical format. I just can't fit all of the books up here. I love this book. It's very detailed, and I specifically recommend the chapter on reading. I love how Nelson Fu and Erica Meltzer combined do the job for the grammar, and this one is just phenomenal for reading. Phenomenal. The way he explains the logic, the pitfalls of the SAT, I employ a lot of his techniques, and you don't need to read the whole thing because he repeats himself a lot. So if you are willing to spend maybe 2 to 3 to 4 hours understanding what he means when he talks about a demonstration, when he talks about the restatement, and there are a lot of explanations and answer choice explanations. This is a very, very, very good book. For the ACT, things are the same. For ACT reading, I still recommend Erica Meltzer and ACT Black Book, new favorite. And what did I change my mind about? I changed my mind about using UWorld for the reading section. I used to recommend the digital resource UWorld for reading, and I no longer think that this is helpful just because we are not taking the test in a digital form. We're taking the test in a physical form, and that really hinders your performance, because if you're practicing scrawling and when you're taking the test you have to be underlining and doing things physically, this can really impede your performance, especially because we don't have a lot of time. It's very ruthlessly timed, so I prefer that you practice on real tests. Okay, next, math. Math for the SAT. Things, I think, remain the same. I'm still deeply, deeply in love with College Panda. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful book that will answer all of your questions. If you study this book, you are pretty much ready for the test. I still like to interleave it with a UWorld practice. UWorld is fantastic for math, and you can custom tailor your tests, and you can create the test that you really like. And I also am enjoying this creation. Now the books are going to start falling. By Nelson Fu. This is a set of practice tests. I find them very challenging, and he does a great job at providing explanations. So this is my new favorite, something I newly love. Do I recommend the Black Book for math? No. Personally, that's not for me. I think that Nelson Fu is a lot more organized and a lot more detailed. So that is my 2 cents there. For ACT math, I still love Nelson. I make all of my students buy this book. So absolutely nothing changed there. Still a great find. So let's talk about the essay. I used to love, and I still love, the College Panda SAT essay, and I am not using his ACT essay guide, but I promise I'll check it out. I'll let you know what I think. But that is a perfect book for the SAT essay. Now, in terms of some things for ACT science, here things changed tremendously, and I found a phenomenal resource thanks to Reddit. We'll talk about Reddit a little bit later. Thanks to Reddit, I stumbled on this book because you kids were talking about this book in the thread, and oh my goodness, I'm going to be creating a lot more videos based on this book. I think that the author is just phenomenal. I'm not going to say the name of the author because I'm going to butcher it anyway, but the dude is just brilliant. If you're struggling with ACT science, check out this book, and be on the lookout for my explainer videos. Well, I'll grab some of the information from this book. And I still use floats for the love of science. It's okay. In my experience, it's not yielding as high of a score. If you're looking for maybe a 31 or a 32, this book will be tremendous. And if you're looking for a 36, definitely consider adding this on, or maybe do a combo. This is going to be like an introductory lesson, because this one is thinner and the examples in the book are a lot easier. What I love about this one is that not only the lessons are on point, and they're very, this reminds me a lot of Nelson Fu's style. Lessons are very detailed, but also the practice exercises, they have this difficulty level that mimics the ACT, and I see a lot of the graphs and charts. He just borrows them directly from the test and changes up some numbers so that he does not suffer from any copyright issues. So super good find. This is something I'm super excited about. Now, some of the things that I changed my mind on is this guy. I remember very well that in my video from 2019, I highly recommended that you guys invest in the official guide, and I don't recommend that anymore because all of this information can be found online. You are not required to buy this book, especially because this book does not open up the cards for you. I like joking that the explanations, well, this one's the old one, I like, I jokingly say that the explanations to some of the questions, they are so bizarre. I would never be able to solve the question by using the logic that is described in some of the answer choices. So this is something that I changed my mind on. If you're taking the SAT or the ACT, I encourage you to not get the book, because all of the guidelines you can find on the website. This is available in the PDF. So that is something new. Some other things for reading I still enjoy is this beautiful book, They Say, I Say, especially for the pattern where the author talks about a natural science or social science issue, and this is very helpful if you're struggling with main theme or main topic questions. This book is still very helpful. One more thing, I get a lot of questions in regards to how can I improve my reading, and you already have a video where I talk about improving your reading diet, but this book is still a very good book if you are trying to improve your ability to answer social science or natural science passages and you're struggling with main theme or main topic questions. This one's fantastic to check out, and also very, very good for essay writing and ACT or SAT essay. This is a good one, so definitely buy this. Now, let's actually sit down at a computer and talk about some of the digital resources that I now love or maybe changed my mind on. So let's begin with those that I am excited about. iExcel. iExcel is a very inexpensive tool. My students get an iExcel through me, and it helps me tremendously because I could see how much time they're spending. The analytics are very thorough. I could see how much time they spent, where exactly they had problems. I could see on what date they were spending time doing homework. So this is absolutely phenomenal. Another thing that I love about iExcel is their new thing. It's called a skill plan. And this is a skill plan for the SAT. This is something that iExcel came out. They compiled the exercises that they believe are going to be helpful in pursuit of a high score on the SAT math. And they divided it up into topics: algebra, problem solving, passport to advanced math, problem solving and data. I find these subsections very, very helpful, and I will link those links down below. I wouldn't trust it blindly and think, oh, if I complete these exercises that I'm going to score very high on the SAT. Not necessarily, but there's a beautiful chance for you. For example, you just read something from College Panda about scale drawings and word problems. Guess what? You get a chance to practice those scale drawings and word problems on here. Again, this may not be the exact wording of the SAT, this may not be the exact problem, but you are using the exact underlying principle as you're supposed to use on the SAT. This will help you, especially for someone who is whose math is not one of the strongest suits. This will help you to develop those neurological pathways that may make you think, oh, scales, okay, the ratios that I should be using. These are the tools. So this is very, very helpful for someone who wants to grow their math skills and grow them tailored to the SAT. They also have the same skill plan for the ACT. I will post both of those links below this video. So this was just a fantastic tool that I found this year. Okay, so another thing that I am still excited about is Reddit, but I did change my mind on Reddit. I used to hang out in the this subreddit a lot. I hang out in the other one a lot more. So this one's still great. It still has a lot of great resources, and it has a lot more members than my new favorite. So I want to support that one. But this Reddit has almost 80,000 members, and it has beautiful threads and lots of beautiful information. And definitely check out information on the sides, post comments. The dude who runs this subreddit, his name is Donald Keyman. He's pretty cool. So the subreddits for SAT and ACT are still valid, and information on the side is prep materials. They have some free materials, they have some paid materials. They also tell you when the upcoming test dates are. Personally, I keep my upcoming dates up here so that I always remember when is which test. But this is very helpful for you to know when to register. My new favorite, the one I want to talk to you guys about, is this one. This is called SAT ACT Prep. This is by this gentleman who is admirably a Harvard grad, and he runs this website, McElroy Tutoring. He tutors for all these different tests. I highly encourage you to go to the tab where he talks about SAT math tips. Those articles are beautifully written. I wish I wrote them, but he did. So highly encourage you to check out this one. So my new favorite Reddit subreddit is this one, r/SAT ACT. Not as popular as the other one, so I want to support it. And what's amazing about it is that on the side, he has 36 official SAT practice tests and 77 official ACT practice tests. So remember when I was talking to you and I was saying that there's no need in buying the real book? That's why. Because we have, even on this website, we have 36 official SAT practice tests. Maybe it makes sense to only try the last 10, but what's interesting is that he also includes PSATs and answers, and it's just very organized. I love it. It's my new love. Something that I changed my mind about is UWorld. Do I still love UWorld? Absolutely. Do I still use it for reading and science? I do not. There's something about the technique. There's something about using the real tests that makes me so much more excited and makes me believe that this is something that is going to show up on the resurface on the SAT tests. And now that we have 36, I would rather use a real practice test with my students than make them read the UWorld's version of it. So although the logic is still very good and I love them, I tend to use, and even if you look at my stats, I tend to create math tests a lot more often than I do any science or reading tests. And what I absolutely love about UWorld, oopsie, is that you can create a test that is tailored to your needs. Let's say you wanted to create a test that has to do with Passport to Advanced Math only, then you can check off just the Passport to Advanced Math. If you, let's say, wanted to do just rational expressions and equations, let's pretend you just mastered this topic in College Panda, and that's the only thing you want to focus on, you can go ahead and create yourself a test, 26 questions that just do rational expressions. And here you go. And let's say the answer is 9, and that was incorrect. And there you will have a very, very thorough explanation. And then it's sometimes curious to look at the stats, how you compare against other people. And then at the bottom, they have this section called Things to Remember, which are helpful tips that you can carry from one problem to the next. So UWorld is still my love, but not for the science and the grammar and the reading. Now, one more thing that is my new favorite. I used to always go to Nelson Fu's website, the College Panda. The College Panda for the curve. So let's say my students will take a practice test and then I would need to curve it. I would need to know, well, this time there were 4 errors on the reading section. What score is it? Is it a 32 or is that a 33? What's the curve? So I used to always go here where he created curves. Now I have a new favorite, this website called PrepSharp. PrepSharp, sadly, they only give you ACT stuff, but let's say I wanted to score a test code 71H. Let's say that was the test that I gave to my student. And then what would show up is this beautiful sheet of paper with answers and I get a curve right away. So super convenient for those of you ACT freaks. You guys love ACT and you're very competitive about it. So Prep Sharp is my new favorite, and still love College Banda for the curves and all of the books that he writes. Love, love, love this work. And I hope this helped you guys. I hope you liked the updated video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you have any more questions for me, leave it in the comments below this video. I am going to be on the lookout for those. And don't forget, every month when you comment, subscribe, and like, you get entered into a monthly draw to get on a free tutoring session with me for a whole hour. You get me for a whole hour where we can talk about SAT, ACT, and anything that is tutoring related that you're curious about. All right. I'm looking forward to meet you in person. Bye.